Good evening. You're welcome to another episode of Unionism on AYOGEN TV. It's a beautiful Friday evening here from AYOGEN studio. I'm ADEWUSI HABEEB. We'll be discussing on trending issues that is actually ravaging our various campuses, which is Godfatherism, student unionism. Here with me in the studio today is two beautiful comrades from one of the citadel of learning in Ondo State, which is Adeyemi Federal University of Education. Gentlemen, please introduce yourself to the audience.
Good day, everyone. My name is FAROUQ, OLADIPUPO, popularly known as Aristocrat from ADEMI Federal University of Education, a student of history and education, 3 other level students.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Senator ADEGBOYEGA ABDULLAHI, representing the Faculty of Art and Social Sciences from ADEMI Federal University of Education, Economics Department, Degree 3 students.
It's good to have a comrade and a senator in our midst today. When we are talking about Godfatherism, I think it's a form of a political corruptions which actually influence individuals to unpick another often less influential candidates to attain leadership in order to exert authorities and or influence. This is due to many reasons, including the unpopularity of a candidate or thereabouts or latter and incumbency. In terms of incumbency, when a candidate is actually aspiring for a post, is not well known to the electorate. So people who are actually influentials, who have money, who have power, will come in and be like, okay, this is our candidate. This is individual we want you to go for. My analyst today, we actually be discussing much about the Godfatherism. Let me throw the questions to the two of you. Firstly, let me go with a comrade, Aristocrat. I know he's an activist, he's a writer, he's everything. Godfatherism, what do you feel about this word? Godfatherism in the student unionism.
Godfatherism in student union government is something that is very common and is a little bit more test to what we are going to face outside the real politics after we left the school campus. And Godfatherism is something that is affecting the campus as a whole, in which it has its own disadvantages and also advantages in particular. Although I've been one of the bona fide of Godfatherism in politics, because although I was able to have the advantage over others by noticing some kind of brilliancy and intelligence in putting some things in order during my NC period, and also on the other way around, in the last election, it actually spelled it having a chance. But all the same, God.
Okay, what's your Godfatherism to student unionism?
When we talk about Godfatherism in our campus these days, actually is an act of producing more leaders with divergent opinions, with divergent belief. Because when we talk about the Godfatherism, those people that are fathers in politics, they always have their own motive, either negative or positive, which is best known to them.
Okay, Aristocrat, you said something earlier on that you've once benefited from this Godfatherism of team when it comes to student unionism stuff. And likewise, it has actually been a disadvantage to you. Can you just narrate your deal when it was an advantage to you? So when it comes to Godfatherism, they demand a lot. You won't be able to deliver what you have for the electorate. Even if, for adventure, you don't even have a very good insight about the post you are actually aspiring for. they are too demanding in some aspects. What are the benefits you've actually benefited, the advantages?
Although during my NC days, I was once an honorable member because then we were using honorable member at SCG, like at the College of Education. So I was at home then, and I was just called that due to what in terms of participating in student unionism, that I think I deserve to be at student union government. And during the time, I faced a lot of things, maybe fighting in order for my constituency, which was NC then, to what to be. But I'm ready to what to that period of time, but they didn't ask for anything around that period of time. Even though after privileged to be, they never expected anything from me. But I feel I didn't fit to what to pay them, but probably I was unable to do so. But no, notwithstanding, they helped me in so many ways.
Okay,
By
permit me to cut in. Don't you see that as the genesis of corruption when it comes to Godfatherism? Because you try to settle and you try some people based on the fact that some actually request for it. Don't you think that the monetary aspect will turn it to being corruption?
Yes, it will actually turn into corruption, but it's manner at which you play your game that really matters most in that time of struggle. You know that with the help of some, so I was able to what I was able to scale through by not giving any dime in order to get that slot out. And during the course of being an honorable member, I seek let me say I seek some advice from them, and they actually uh, lead me through the right path on how to do during the course of the year, because I did something which I was trying to fight for student rights, but unfortunately it also spelled doom on me. But we don't need to go into that.
Okay, now I will actually come back to that one. Senator ADEGBOYEGA Abdullah, earlier on you said Godfatherism actually has its own advantage, which is the good part and the bad side. What is the good part of Godfatherism and what is the bad side of Godfatherism?
Thank you very much. The good part of the Godfatherism is a situation whereby, in these days, it's not that possible for an aspirant to emerge without these people we call Godfathers, because they are the one in charge of majority. And when we talk of politics is a game of number, whereby we need more. So those people that are in charge of those valuables, they are the one that we have to get to, because we need such. Let me cite my example. Let me cite myself as an example. When I was the national protocol officer at the Federation of Venezuela National Body, then I'm aspiring as a new intake, because I don't really know much
About
during my
the
NC days.
game.
Then I'm aspiring for national post. Then I was in NC2 going to NC3. It was like, so the game was too competitive, whereby a lot of that I'm from College of Education, so we also have that setback.
Exactly.
Through that Godfathers, I was able to escape through and I emerged. So positive. The negative part is that during our course of service, then you have one of our federal honorable, which you have to get through us because we want to discuss bursary to his constituency. So we have to gather our students then from his constituency. That's Ibadan Southeast Northeast Federal Constituency.
Just
I'm
to get
talking
the
about
bursary.
federal rep.
Okay, Federal Assembly.
That's the honorable Dapolam. So how can I get to the grassroots? Because you are in charge of students.
Exactly.
His
You are
constituency.
close to each student.
During that time, you have to disburse close to like 2.2 million plus, yeah. That we should give 10,000 to each students. So we now calculated everything there. By that time, those godfathers come out. We are the one that make you people. So that money we need to slash it.
And this money is for the benefit of Nigerian students, not even for you as
Yes,
a comrade.
I could remember then that federal representative gave us 6,000 naira, we executive.
alone, aside the
That's
millions of
our own part.
naira.
You now give us 2.2 or 2.5 million naira that we should share it. So those leaders, they started shouting, "This is what you get. This is what you get. This is what you get." Leader, this is not our promise. You know, we still have a lot of things to do in life beyond this. Father's name because of this token amount of
Just
money.
a
So
penny.
that's our own belief. Then they scatter the administration for us. They make everything ungovernable. So that's a negative part.
Now, like I said, the negative part of the Godfatherism would actually a lot of majority, which is, let me call it the evil part of being Godfatherism. As a community who have well exposure, who have a lot of things, should we say Godfatherism is good, or let me say Godfatherism is bad? In just one word, aristocrats, should we say Godfatherism is good or Godfatherism is bad? Just in one word.
It's good.
It's good. So, Senator ADEGBOYEGA Abdullah.
Godfatherism is bad.
It's bad. Okay, let me take it up from aristocrats. Now, if we said Godfatherism is good, like I spell it out the other time that Godfathers are people who have influence. Let's accept the fact that they have influence, they have money. I will take it outside the student unionism now. For example, a state governor, assuming I'm a state governor in Banana Republic, now I'm a governor from a Banana Republic, you are the godfather. In the course of my sojourn to be the governor of a state, I actually seek a succor from you that, okay, I need your help. Now I happens to emerge as the governor. You are too demanding. From day one, you've been asking a lot of things, which are detriments to my own personal perspective and which might harm the entire state. How do you feel I can maneuver and change the tone of things that my godfather will not actually meet with the parliament, and at the later end, I will be impeached as the governor?
The issue is very simple. You will let him know that being made you the governor of the state doesn't mean he should be disturbing you. It should be too demanding.
It is not quite, it won't go down well. I could recollect a scenario in your state. A former governor was impeached based on the fact that he doesn't have a mutual agreement with his own godfather
It
then.
depends on the kind of godfather you have.
Okay, what's your take, Senator Abdullah?
My take was Godfatherism is bad because anything that is negative impact is more than the positive. Absolutely, the thing is bad.
Which is actually detriment to the development and growth of a nation.
Because they keep on repeating that word, we made you people. So without us, you can't be, and which is not. Under normal circumstances, an individual who don't have access to more than one vote.
Exactly.
So they will not be using their influence to do all those things. Under normal circumstances, as an aspirant, if you are really fit, people will see it in you on the norms.
That you have the capacity, the capability.
That's the major problem we have in Nigeria today. Nigerians are not the one deciding. That's the major problem.
Okay, now let me take you back to some issues in student unionism. We've witnessed a lot of scenario while some people who are not even students anymore will be partaking in elections. These are what battered Godfatherism. There was a case of an indigenous association who wants to conduct an elections. Based on the fact that these are Godfatherism of a thing, they didn't settle for the less. So the election has to be postponed. A lot of associations, we have folks who different associations like that. Even there was a certain point of time, I read it in the news that a certain local government has to ban an indigenous association based on the fact that they are causing chaos in the town. People who are no more students, they are prognosing in their fears of the indigenous association, which it shouldn't be. We have it at the NANS level too. So now, these are what battered Godfatherism. How do you want us to separate this from the main student unionism?
Godfatherism is the kind of mentality we have in this African continent because Nigeria covers a lot of Africa generally. So, and the major way is because as assuming those people actually have something they are engaging into now after being left out of school, they won't have any let me say any privilege over what is happening in school campus. For instance, you graduated from Adeyemi Federal University of Education now, and fortunate for you, you have been given a job in which you don't have
Even
much that.
some of them who have jobs still poke nose in these affairs.
To some
A lot of things.
who has job and still proposing that means they are still looking back to what they are. I don't like the reason why you should be still be prognosing the affairs of the student unionism because you have left the this. Although the only thing you can be doing is to what how they should be doing in their what in giving the students what they deserve experience. So and you need somebody to through the process of governance. So and you can't know everything.
Okay,
So that's
I'm sorry to cut in. You said that they need people who are to guide them in administration.
yes.
Now, I'm a student union president. I have the access to have a selfless comrades to me who are going to work with me aside those who are elected, like you having PA, chief of staffs, and the likes, special advisor on social stuff. You give them duties, you delegate duties to people you know who are capable of doing things. Now, I have all those things. Do I still need to go and meet my godfather before I can do things?
No, yeah, someone who was in that shoes before. So we actually have experience over you. So you can't wait experience away in whatever you want to do in life. So we need them to guide you right, not those who will guide you wrong to do what is not good, but those who will guide you right that this is the right thing for you to do at a particular period of time. Because student journalism with academics is very crucial to handle. So you need the way you have to run your education effectively and efficiently for people to what for students to what to accept. So that's it.
Okay, Senator ADEGBOYEGA, your own take.
I'll take is that you see, I see against that Godfatherism once again because being an aspect of a
You are from Oyo State, so you could see a scenario happen presently in Oyo State. FOSU election has been postponed indefinitely,
yes,
despite they've conducted their
and the
screening
major
and the
problem behind
likes.
this
It's
movement is
Godfatherism.
No, I'm not saying that globalizing is totally good, but the fact is that is the manner at
We
which we
still
are.
need them at some certain
So
point.
yes, we
The
still
issue is
need
that
them, no
the issue is
matter
that
what.
if you are sincerely fitting, do at least 80% of the task ahead of you because before you seek for any.
Okay, Senator ADEGBOYEGA, let's take a look at this from this angle. Students who are no more students, who are graduates, they've left the four walls of the school. For example, now, assuming you are a Part 4 student of ADEMI College of Education, the moment you drop your pen, you are no more a student of that college. Now, they want to conduct student union government elections. They brought you in just for some certain goals that, okay, Senator ADEGBOYEGA, we need your help, so, and in the process, okay, you actually understand the fact that, okay, this particular candidate, if I invest in him, we actually emerge, and if it emerge, majority you started demanding from him, doing all sorts of things. Should we still be bringing in people who are not in the system into the system again, the union system?
You shouldn't bring anybody. Once you are graduates, you are no more students. When we talk about democracy, the integrity of democracy, anybody that will be leader must be merged from people within you. People that if you don't have light, that person will not have light. So that people that will have common problem with, so that he or she will be able to know where your problem lies.
Aristo, like you said, that you benefited from Godfatherism, and likewise, it was Godfatherism again that spelled do of your elections. Now, let's take a look at from this angle again. Your godfathers, I didn't know whether he has a good or bad reputation because I don't know. I happens not to know. Now, my godfather have bad reputations. It doesn't have what was it called? It doesn't have a very good rapport with people. And the moment I'm vying for a post, it's no money in the college. We were going to do a lot of things to make sure that I happens to emerge. How do you want to convince people while in school that, see, I'm different? Seeing the picture of you, the picture of your godfather from you, that okay, if your godfather is someone like this, definitely you are from the same school of thought together.
You have to choose right. Whatever you want to do, you have to choose right.
See, the problem is, if actually you want to choose right, okay, I choose Senator Ono as my godfather. I just goes through his CV. I say, okay, he was senator, he was honorable, he was a president of a faculty. Okay, a senator, be my mentor. And in the process, I didn't know he's a bad antecedent before. So the people who knows him with his own bad antecedents will picture me that HB is coming into the fold with the same school of thought with Senator Abdullah. Definitely, it's also a bad omen to the political system of the student unionism.
That will be very difficult.
What's your Senator Abdullah?
Under normal circumstances, that's what we and it's obvious. Someone can't be your mentor without you getting one or two things from him.
That's the point I want to take.
From him or her. That's how it all is. There are some godfathers that once people see you with them like this, they will not work for you again.
That was one of the reasons.
If you are just joining on, this is AYOGEN TV, and we are located at Akinjagunda. We'll finish up with a Godfather Unionism. You're welcome back on the program, Unionism. With me here in studio is OLADIPUPO FAROUQ, popularly known as Aristocrat, and ADEGBOYEGA ABDULLAHI, popularly known as Senator Honor. They are students of the foremost teacher training institutes in Nigeria at the Federal University of Education. We've actually been discussing about our students, Godfatherism, students, Unionism. Let's take some jabs from some topics again. These days, it is actually common that the moment you attain a post, the moment you got elected into power, some people actually change to their godfather. What is the cause? What actually leads to you changing, you using them as a tool? Like you said, they have their good and the bad side. Some people will just see the bad side of that. Aristocrat is very good, he has influence. The moment I win the election, I don't want to see him again in this government. I'm not listening to his advice. So, what is the cause that will lead to an individual after election and neglect our godfather?
There are many things that could cause that, and it depends on the kind of person that they are dealing with. We human beings, we always to demand. Let me put it in that aspect. So you expect, so maybe for instance now in a state, presently in a state now, there's an issue between a sitting governor and a godfather, in which he expects him to be delivering everything that is happening in the state to him as if he's the one owning the state. And the person has already created a lot of problems for this man before he took over the position of authority. So, and this man is trying to what? He's trying to satisfy the wish of the people. It is very difficult for you to balance the wish of the people and satisfying the godfather. Like that. And this person is actually trying to what? To give the people what they are demanding. People are shouting that the policy of last government are difficult for them to what? To bear. So he's trying to listen to them and trying to adjust that policies so that the people will be comfortable with the program. So it depends on the manner at which they are relating with each other during the course of governance. So that's what the
Well,
problem
actually,
is.
okay, Senator ADEGBOYEGA, Abdullahi, over to you. What might actually lead to an individual using his godfather to attain a post, and at the end, it was like, what's this man telling me? I don't want to see him in my government again.
And the major problem that is there is that there are some godfathers that, whether you like it or not, them as stone. Aside that, you leave them because they will lead you astray.
And don't
Let me
you see
cite,
that will spell a doom to such an individual?
it depends. Let me cite example of their state. When our governor then, Governor Sheyi Makinde is aspiring to be governor, there are some godfathers that continue spending the money. Immediately you attain the post, is the general public. Those godfathers, they keep shouting. They don't enjoy. They didn't enjoy the government. They didn't enjoy the government. Those godfathers are minority,
Why the electorate is the majority?
of course, because I didn't say you should neglect your godfather, but sense, but there should be a limit to at which you can do those things for them. But the major concern should be the electorate. That's what the problem. That's where the problem lies now. People of the state are enjoying the governor. Those godfathers are complaining. They are the one influencing people. And I'm very sure during the election calls now, these godfathers, people that are enjoying the government now, will still go back to those godfathers. Those godfathers will be the one to still decide again. That's I don't just know why Nigeria just talk. That's a certain mentality.
Okay, as a student, how do you think that or what's it called? We can curb Godfatherism in the student unionism, because if we could see a lot of things that is happening around us. Godfather is like, let me say, is like we calling them stakeholders. We call them stakeholders. What's it called in the university systems of it in student unionism, that okay, there's stakeholder clinical stakeholder stuff like that. How do we reorient that? Okay, it's not that we want to banish the issue of stakeholders, which is known as godfatherism. At some extent they are good tools for the student unionism democracy, but how do we reorientate the what's it called, the around the electorate, that it is not that you should give the full power stakeholders, which is the godfatherism? I'm taking it up from Senator Abdullah.
As regards that, all those are since you are graduates of school like this, maybe the school management you have to work on that, and there should be some certain orientation to students. Because, like, let me start an example now. Once you are graduates, there should be all graduates entering the school campus.
Student elections and the student
Right.
unionism.
You shouldn't have any cost to come to the campus again. So if there is something like that, people will still come in. Although there are some students and they are not all graduates, because there are some students that they are not able to contest, maybe due to one issue or the other. So they be the one sitting down somewhere deciding for others. So I think if that due to some certain orientations, I think there will be changes.
So Aristocrat, how do you feel we should curb these anomalies?
The problem is from the management and the students aspiring for post. The main problem behind this because they're the one to them sure to seek for intent.
Assistance.
Yes, I want to become this. I need your assistance. Probably if we have
But wait, coming out to seek for assistance doesn't mean it's to you.
you know that in a situation like this, when you are something in you don't greet them well, you have a problem. If you do whatever they are expecting for you to do, you are in problem. If you lie down to them and allow you.
So that means the student is also the cause of the reason why colleagues will have to seek succor from godfathers before they attain post.
Yes,
Even some godfathers, they don't even want to come into that policies. It's the aspirant that will go to them. Some will still ask them questions. These are where I think some aspirants will think. You see, I help you. Let's just you not be aspirants will not be the one to say, okay, you can do like this, you can do that. You know that kind of stakeholder didn't have that mind to do such.
Before
Aspirants will not be
is
the one.
the one giving him the lead.
yes.
Say, okay, okay, you can help me like this, you can help me like this. Okay, don't worry. I will call this, I will call this, I
And
will
the
call this.
management also seeking from those who are surrounded. Maybe for instance now, we are moving on towards the election in ADEWUSI demarcation. So there are some set of people that management too we ask from that. Who do you think can actually handle
These
this
are
affairs
fears.
for us effectively? So through that, there are some kind of corruption
Aspect.
aspects.
Okay. Let's take it out the school form to the indigenous and the nans at large. How can we up this godfatherism of a thing? Because a friend of mine actually for a post at the moment he started meeting some people, they were demanding today you will take me to social sports, you will buy something for me. And as a friend of mine wants to contest at NANS level, so the moment he went to Osun State to seek for their votes, he met some people there. They asked him that, okay, give us 10, a certain huge amount of money, which I won't be mentioned because of security stuff. So all those stuffs, how do we call this godfatherism outside the campuses, outside campuses, NANS, indigenous associations, state, any whatsoever form of associations? How do we curb this?
The influence of government is also attached to that because government has their own preferable candidates to emerge, and they will
So
have to.
how do we find ourselves in this mess that government is actually having an interest in a candidate?
Because the government too know that the influence of
A student.
students will have impact in their own election or election code. So that's is a general story. Because probably if the government actually reduce poverty and the money be studied to people, you can actually get to the.
Well, we have young mind students who are into a lot of business, crypto business, which is actually generating money for them.
People crave for more.
People crave for more. So, Senator Abdullah, now I'm still coming back, aristocrat, yet to answer my questions. How do you think we can curb this godfatherism even outside our own, which is student unionism? Even if it's still unionism outside, how do we curb it? How do we make sure that people who are no more a student is not dictating? They are not giving us the chance that, okay, this is the person I want you to vote for. At some extent, if you go for an election outside the school, if you have like 4 people vying for president, the moment you get to election ground, it will just be one president, one deputy. Everything has actually been said, and this are the work of the deaf. I call them deafish godfatherism because they kill people's ambition. I have a blueprint of becoming a president of what's it called, Federation of Oyo State Student Union. Aristocrat is also contesting. Just because Aristocrat has godfather, I have a very good blueprint, but Aristocrat doesn't have a good blueprint, but he has godfathers. So they kill people's ambition. How do you think we can curb this?
And the only way I think we can curb this is that maybe government should create some bodies. They create a body that will serve, that will guide the conduct of those associations. Because if you look at all those indigenous associations outside the campus, they are the ones that they have a big problem because no one to guide them. For example, I'm from ADEWUSI, you are from Lautech. If I harm you now, will they rusticate me in my school for harming?
No, it's not. It's not.
No, because people are free to do what they like. If government can set aside a kind of body, the conduct of those associations, I think the problem is that the government that we're still talking about, they also have interests. That's I know you could my witness during this this last election at Federation of Ogun Student Union, while governor is being molested by students because of government interest. You come from Ogbomoso rights, fighting for interest of governors so that you be able to help your constituency. You are now molesting yourself among students. You are not
So
students.
now it's a two case now. We want to avert people who are normally students out of this system. Government still is coming in. How do we orientate people that, okay, see government and people who are not in this system, let's set them aside, let's decide what we want? How is that possible? How can we do that?
I think it's possible to some extent. It's not really possible. The main problem is, you see Nigerians, our mindset are stuck in poverty, serious poverty. If you've been in those election process before, you will see how money exchange and once I forced to there, I represent Ibadan zone to vote during first election. We went to Saki to vote then. You see how things turn out. You have 4 presidential aspirants. Within 2 minutes, we don't have we only have 2. How come before election and now to an election, people started changing ambition. I'm not going for this, I'm not going for this. How do you expect such a person to perform in such office? So I think there should be a kind of serious orientation and reduction in poverty. Maybe government should set aside some poverty eradication program or policy.
Okay, aristocrats, time a situation like this arose in Elgas, how do you guys solve the situations?
Though when we are here, we are facing.
I mean, the state government also has interest in Elgas.
No, they don't have interest, but the local government has
In interest.
because they are the one giving us.
If the local government is having interest, definitely the governor is having interest.
Yes, so they are the one giving us subvention to fund the association. So they will also have their own
Their
interest. But
interest.
the best way I think they can do is that orientation one, and also in order to disallow hooliganists not to partake in the affairs of these student union government is by applying CGPA to for someone to contest, because that one will actually reduce the participation of hooliganism and all those stuff.
Lies.
Yeah,
Okay, now I want Senator ADEGBOYEGA Abdullahi to answer these questions. You said something that they fund these associations. That's the reason why they have interest, which is quite true. It is obvious. If you could see NANS is not having any way of generating income. It's either they go to one senator, you give them money, it goes. Is there any way we can make sure that these associations are not generating funds from politicians, or probably they should find a means of generating it? You know, there are different ways you can generate income. I'm from Oyo State. I'm an Ibadan indigene. We have a lot of philanthropists. We have a lot of NGOs. Why can't they meet with these people and separate politics aside from this unionism? I want you to answer that.
As regards that, if at all the indigenous association can still get another source of income, government will still come to them, politicians will still come to them. If Nigerian students today started paying dues for these associations, they will still use the money, they will still have more, they will still need more all the time. When it comes to electioneering, because these leaders you are talking about, they are product of politics. So they even have politics in their blood, whether we like it or not. Politics is the major cause of this problem.
Okay, should we now apply the precaution measures stated by aristocrat that they should be having a certain CGPA before they could contest?
It is not really possible. The reason why it's not possible is because we are from different schools. If you say I have to bring my CGPA now, if I went somewhere and do some kangaroo CGPA for you, how will you know? You can't go to 70 schools, 70 chapters to verify CGPA.
But we are now in a technological world, right? It can be done. If I ask you to send emails to me, there's a way I can channel my compliance to a certain school. I can easily, if I can't get a phone call, definitely I can get an email. And when it comes to technology, it is fast. So I too personally, I was thinking if this could be put in place, but putting this in place, it will take a lot of process. But do you see the future? Do you see that our student unionism could take a shape in some years to come?
Yes,
With the way we are still crawling.
yes, because the problem is that we should always ready for task. The task is quite so cumbersome to carry because we have to work hand in hand with the management of various schools that we want to call this thing and we are determined to call it. And once we are determined, we will gradually get to the zenith because the USA and other we are looking forward to, they also get from somewhere. So we have to start somewhere and we get there.
Do you see us still growing, or despite the fact that we are crawling, do we still have future in this student unionism?
I'm not sure. The reason why I'm not sure is that everything is just getting worse.
Day by day. Wow.
In my days, in my NC days, then when I'm aspiring, we only use token or people see value in you before they vote for you. In this fifth national election, right there, you see how money change hand. You have students, they are giving each other 20,000. It is aspirant, this is a delegate 10,000 naira. Students!
Is our mentality that someone who actually gave someone that 20,000 naira that I want to win next year.
Chapters.
Probably if someone is also contesting in the next election, also feel the same that I want to
What actually brings about this topic is that we've discovered these days that majority of student union presidents don't have anything to offer to the students. Same with indigenous associations now. They only go to put things in their pocket.
because of the mentality.
No, actually, I want to say something on what as Abdullahi said. Now, I'm vying for a post. I give you 10,000 naira to vote for me. I give you 10,000 naira. Do you know my first aim immediately I want? What will be my first aim? That I need to see my money back. If this mentality actually continues, definitely the unionism doesn't have a good future. So as a comrade and as a senator, you are an advocate of peace, you are an activist. How do we convince electors that money is not the root for election?
We can only convince them through some certain orientations and poverty eradication programs, whereby governments can help or some NGOs will help students looking for their needs. Because aside that, are you telling me students that hasn't eaten anything since morning? You tell me that some students will not collect money. That's the basis of the problem. People are suffering. So that's it.
What's your own thing?
Is the mentality, and that is poverty mentality.
So that means abject poverty is ravaging the midst of student
And what
unionism.
is happening in student unionism is actually happening outside. So, and that is causing people to buying outside student unionism to normal politics. So when they come this poverty eradication stuff, so we can move to the next line of action.
If you are just joining us, this is AYOGEN TV, and we are actually on the program Unionism, and we are discussing terrorism and students unionism. My analysts have done justice to part of the questions today, and really interesting. It shows that at some point we need Godfather, and at some point we don't need Godfather. It is a 50-50 take. Until next time that I will still come your way, because our time is actually fast spent on these segments. Until next time, I will still come your way. Permit me to appreciate all the crew member, to my able producer, CK. Thanks, is the one putting us on here. Bleeding Pen is also in the media house today. John, part of our editorial board, and to our director, Mr. Falegon. Thanks to each and every one of you for making it a lively sections today. Gentlemen, a word to the students outside from Aristocrats. Just a word.
My people outside, until we try to stop the mentality of collecting money from our leaders, that's what we are going to do. Money can't take us to anywhere, and let's make sure that we actually focus on what the leaders actually have in stock to offer us, not what we are going to do, and not getting money from them that can solve the issue. Because the money they are giving us, they will actually find a means of getting it back if actually fortunate to be in a position of power. Thank you.
Senator Abdullah.
I will implore my fellow students, let's try as much as possible to look beyond today in all our dealings. And let's try and make sure we elect valuable candidates that will get back to us. God bless us.
Until next week, that I will still come your way with another topic, with another guest. I'm ADEWUSI Oladeji HABEEB.